So the male is the foundation because of creation process. Very important. So what is father? Here's my definition from the Bible's perspective. Father is the source, sustainer, nourisher, supporter, and foundation of that which comes out of it. In other words, you cannot be a father if you have a child and you don't sustain that child. Look at the list. Any dog could have a puppy, but it takes a real father to bring up a child. Spreading your oats all over the world and all over the city and over the community doesn't mean you are a father. Some men walk around and say, well, I got 5 children, I'm a father. Well, and none of them live with him and he don't support none of them. He ain't no father. Father means source and sustainer. The courts in our country are clogged up with men who have children and would not pay alimony. Lack of sustaining. And this is a very touchy subject. But I like what God did. You know, let me explain this to you, show you God's perspective. This is the kingdom's perspective. Do you remember when Abraham slept with the maid? You remember the Bible story? Yeah? Because Sarah couldn't wait to have a baby. So she told the maid to go sleep with her husband, Abraham. Abraham went and slept with this woman because his wife wanted a child. Well, the child became, can I put it this way, an unnatural inheritance. In other words, this child, this was called we call it illegitimate child, but it's not illegitimate. It's just that the child was not the child of promise. And then suddenly, Sarah became pregnant. You remember that? And Sarah realized she's pregnant now. The very child that told her husband to have, she became mad and tell her husband, get that child out of this house. Now, most women who have a husband that have outside children feel the same way that Sarah felt, because you don't want no child competing with your child. And so you find that Abraham had the same struggles that most of the men feel that have that problem. They have a child outside, they married, and they got a child inside the house. Now, Sarah became angry and said, get this child out of here. Abraham has a problem. Abraham goes to God and begins to pray. And men, you got to go to God, because you can't talk to no women really like that. You know, and they got a right to feel that anger. Okay, so you can't talk to them. You got to go to God and ask God for wisdom. Abraham went, watch this now, and he prayed to God. And God answered him. First of all, God's answer proves that children are not illegal. There is no such thing as an illegitimate child, including the one your husband got outside. That is not illegitimate. Your husband and that woman is illegitimate, but not that baby. Clap now, quick for change your mind. So that baby is innocent, and that child is God's heritage. Now watch God. He said, Abraham, take the child and the woman. Amen. Amen. Watch it now. Take the child and the woman, he says, and provide sustenance for both of them. He says, and give the child an inheritance. Then God says, send them away. See, God understands the problem that could develop. But he told Abraham, give the child enough sustenance. That means material things to support that child until he is of age. But I like what God said, send them away. He didn't want the woman getting mixed up in the business. And that's important. You take care of the child. He says, why? Because